Tucker Carlson is gone from Fox News, so Fox News has fired the only reason that people watch Fox News.
Seriously, where else can people tune in from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. to see Tucker Carlson staring at the camera with his perpetual baffled face? Where?
We talked to Bethany and Karol about how they are coming after the kids. Gross.
Not Bethany and Karol. They're not coming after the kids.
And they're not gross.
They.
The other they.
Is AI going to replace artists? No. But it's fun to see what we can make it do. All this
and more on. Nailed it.
The Babylon Bee Podcast.
Hey everyone, I'm back after a couple weeks of rest
Welcome back, Kyle.
and relaxation.
Good to have you back.
But not really. But I am back, and I'm hanging out with Adam Yenser and Chandler Juliet.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. So AI, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That AI is pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
I've used ChatGPT a little bit to do like some iteration on things. Like if you think of an idea and you're like,
Cheating.
yeah,
To help with the script
I
writing,
avoid it.
help with the
I've
articles.
avoided it at all costs.
I haven't even tried it. I'm too weirded out by it.
it doesn't do as much as you would think. Like it's not like, oh, I want to write a funny article about Buc-ee's. Write me a funny article about Buc-ee. It doesn't do that very well. Like when you wrote that script for the ChatGPT thing we did, and you're like,
oh yeah, be sure to check out our ChatGPT sketch that
Yes.
explains how it works.
Yeah.
why don't we play it? Can we play it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Watch the ChatGPT. We figured out how it works. Hot on the heels of the second largest bank failure in U.S. history and the 8th interest rate hike within a 12-month period, 186 more banks are at risk of collapsing. Your bank could be next unless the Fed does what they just did back in March and prints $300 billion out of thin air, making your dollar worthless. Not to mention the recession risk that could have a significant impact on your investment and retirement accounts. Take our advice and protect your financial future with something real, like gold and silver, from my friends at Allegiance Gold. Allegiance Gold can help you protect your IRA or 401k with physical gold and silver, and if you prefer, you can have it delivered securely right to your front door. Since the beginning of time, there is only one universal currency that is always of value, and that's gold. Allegiance Gold has the highest ratings in the industry, 5 stars with TrustLink, a AAA rating with the Business Consumer Alliance, and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. You can invest with confidence because of the quality and service of Allegiance Gold. Get up to $5,000 in free silver on a qualifying purchase when you visit protectwithbee.com today. That's protectwithbee.com. Or give them a call at 844-790-9191.
It's the Babylon Bees Sketch of the Week.
Hey man, have you used ChatGPT?
No, what is it?
It's this crazy new artificial intelligence site. You give it any prompt and it responds like a real person. Come check this out. Write a funny story about a pig.
The big fat pig has a big fat butt and it sits but it smushes something with its butt. The end. That's incredible, man. That's like the funniest story that I've ever read.
I know, dude.
All right, do another one, man.
Okay. How about this? ChatGPT, why does my college roommate look like he's 44 years old?
Your college roommate looks 44 because the producers of this sketch only gave the casting department 24 hours notice before the shoot, so they were unable to find an age-appropriate actor. After a brief shouting match, they decided to cast whoever was available since they were already behind schedule. I mean, that's incredible. How does it do that?
I don't know, dude. Some super high-tech algorithm, if I had to guess.
Michael, the response to that lady in Singapore took 0.8 milliseconds too long.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going as fast as I can!
Hey, you give me that attitude, and I'll jump right back on TaskRabbit and find a new ChatGPT.
Oh, no, please don't. I need the money to support my Funko Pop habit.
Then calm down, have another Red Bull, and get caught up.
There's 23,000 requests coming in every second.
Then eat some coffee grounds and work faster.
I need real food. Is it almost time for my lunch break?
Michael, it's Marge. Your lunch break is in November.
The elephant is a pachyderm with one of the longest gestational periods of any animal on Earth. Hey!
That's true.
Combine eggs, baking soda, and flour in a medium bowl, mix on high until creamy. I'm sure you're a nice person, but as a computer program, I cannot reciprocate feelings of love and sexual desires.
Good answer.
And the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
That's better. Now, I'm feeling a bit peckish, so I'm going to Sizzler for a steak and jumbo crispy shrimp combo for $17.99. Try to get those answers sent by the time I get back.
Oh, this person is asking about drag queen story hours. I don't want to talk about drag queens.
Michael, you're ChatGPT. If you want to keep your job, you have to.
But I don't want to get involved in all the political stuff.
Michael, next week Funko Pop is releasing a limited edition Baby Yoda figure wearing a scuba diving outfit. It's very cute.
Okay, fine. All right, drag queens are men who cross-dress, yes. While drag is an accepted form of adult entertainment, it would be inappropriate to expose children to the sexualized behavior.
No, not like that.
Why not?
We can't criticize drag queens. We gotta keep it woke so we don't get canceled.
Fine. Drag queens are beautiful ladies. In fact, they're the best kind of lady in the world. Drag queens are what Women's History Month is all about. Instead of parents, every child in America should be raised by a drag queen. There. Is that better?
This is foolishness. Just get those answers sent out before I'm back from Sizzler.
Sizzler is the one that brings us choices, reaching out across the USA.
Hey, yo. Did you hear that Elon Musk is creating a non-woke alternative to ChatGPT?
How's that gonna work?
Drag queens, eh?
Each and every day, get a little freedom.
Oh, good one.
Like, what's the beginning? Like the poopy
Oh, the fat pig.
fat pig, you
Yeah.
know, it has
actor-
a big butt or whatever.
I don't
It's
know where
like-
that story comes from.
They just crushed it.
When Bettina's daughter was here the one day, she came in my office and said she wanted to write a joke. And so I said, what should the joke be? And that was the joke she wrote, and I told her I would put it in a sketch
Oh,
sometime.
okay. I didn't know that. That's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep, so that was
Wasn't-
co-written.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Co-writer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
it's a great sketch. Good
Yeah.
job, Adam. And the actors just are hilarious. I love the main actors. I don't know if he wants his name said, but the main actor's facial
Jarrett.
expression.
Oh.
Was Jared in? No.
Jared's in the beginning.
Oh, right.
Very beginning.
His delivery just
Yeah.
cracks me up.
But my
every time.
understanding from this AI is, the AI that's been coming out lately is it's not actually AI in the traditional sense that we think of it, like this thinking thing that can generate new ideas. All it's doing is like scraping the internet
It's aggregating
and
all
mashing
different
things
thoughts,
together,
right?
which causes all kinds of copyright issues. Like it's like I'm like write something in the style of the Babylon Bee. Well, then it's just copying things from the Babylon Bee and mashing them together. It's kind of like we do with the
Yeah.
Onion.
Yeah, it's creating a little bit of controversy, not necessarily ChatGPT or the generated art. I'm kind of less, I have some feelings about it that I haven't quite figured out yet. But a couple years ago, I remember in the middle of the pandemic, I started discovering Instagram accounts with AI models that are being run by like men, but they're like these, crazy
So they generate the
proportion-
image of the woman.
Yeah, and they're like an Instagram model, but they're
fake,
They're fake.
yeah.
They're completely fake,
Does
and they're
an
getting
AI
contracts with
Does an
like
AI
Levi's.
does an AI and bot like run the account and all the text and stuff?
No,
or-
that's a person.
Okay, so
Somebody
someone-
runs it and makes profits from it, but it's an AI-generated image of an attractive woman or man.
Yeah, a woman, and then it's like that model is being posed and put in different products and clothes, and like now they're taking our jobs from the models now, and I just think it is a little
Are
bit
you
of a
AI?
no.
Someone in this room is
How would you
AI,
know?
right?
One of the three of us is AI. Guess which one it is.
Yeah. So I guess there's just a little bit of like a, it started with the ATM machine, and now we're
That's who
here.
you blame for the start of it? Those ATM machines?
Started with the typewriter. It
I
was
always
all
told
down
people ATM machines were a bad idea.
That darn
it's a slippery
calculator.
slope.
Yeah. When you used to have to go walk in and talk to the teller.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little
were the
extreme
days.
now. I think we're getting a little extreme.
But we're going to have some fun later. We're going to look at some AI-generated art that Dan and the guys made up, and we're going to guess what the prompt is.
Oh, that
so
sounds
I'm excited
fun.
for that.
That sounds fun.
We talked to Bethany Mandel and Karol Markowicz and their book Stolen Youth.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. Yep.
So, if you want to keep up with what we're doing at the Babylon Bee, hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell to keep up with all our podcasts on YouTube and Rumble. Find our Babylon Bee podcast page on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can become a Babylon Bee subscriber to get the ad-free full-length podcast, and you can use promo code PODCAST to get 20% off. So go to babylonbee.com/plans.
How Bed Bath & Beyond went out of
That's
business.
by the 20%
by
off.
giving everyone
coupons.
20% off all the time.
It's true.
Wait, really? They went
Reddit.
out of business?
They filed for bankruptcy,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
They're closing soon. I think they're going to be an online-based store still, but they're
That's what happens to a
closing.
lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, that's crazy. I
Ah.
think that happened with David's Bridal, too. I got my bridesmaid dress for my sister's wedding at David's Bridal, and admittedly, I was kind of making fun of it the whole time. It's kind of like a Walmart for bride, like everything has like rhinestone made in China, like crap there. And
are they out of business?
Yeah, they declared bankruptcy.
Oh, really?
So I think I got the last bridesmaid dress for my sister's
got the
wedding.
very last one.
Last one.
Wow.
So yeah, they be going out of business these days lately.
So use promo code podcast to get 20% off at Babylon Bee and Bed Bath & Beyond.
Say all that to say, subscribe to us. We're not going out of business.
If we don't get 50 of you to sign up, they're canceling the podcast this week. So make sure to sign up. Use this special link in the description
On the screen
there to get 10% off anything in the Babylon Bee
Do they
store.
put it on the screen, or is it only beneath us?
I don't know.
We should make
It's
it
somewhere.
flash on
It says on the thing, use this special link. So there's a special link. It's shop.babylonbee.com/discount/podcast if you're not watching, or just punch in the code podcast, I think, on the store and it'll work.
Look at this cool shirt.
Look, we got our Caucasian Jack shirts. Was
so funny.
One of the jokes that
Beautiful.
we've done that has done the best. We actually designed the logo, and I got some comments on it from the lady at Stater Brothers.
Hey.
And I saw Jarrett wearing his yesterday too. Yep.
It's a great shirt, and I love that sketch that we did
did a
about that. I
Caucasian
think that was
Jack.
one of the earliest sketches I
One of the
I did.
early news desks that we did. So check it out. Oh, and we also have our what is it called? Our woman definition shirt. So check that out. An adult human female or anyone who drinks Bud Light.
That's going to be helpful because a lot of people don't really know what that is.
And now they do.
You know what's crazy is
Matt Walsh could have bought our shirt.
I have never, I'm not a subscriber to the Daily Wire, but I saw the ad for the document for the first time yesterday, and I was like,
For Matt Walsh's documentary.
this is so powerful. Like, it's actually crazy.
Which
It
clip
gave me
did
chills.
you see? The one where he's talking to the gender theory
She was
expert?
in there, but it started off with like a girl in biological woman, and she's like, I'm not a woman, so I don't know. And he's like, well, how do I know if I'm a woman? She's like, that's a great question. And
Oh, he's like talking to the girl on the street? That one?
no, it was sit downs.
Oh.
Yeah, it's that person with like the pixie haircut.
Mhm.
And, yeah.
There was a few different people he talked to, and then the girls at the protest, and then it was a bunch of clips put together, but it was actually quite startling. I kind of want to watch it, but I think I would be too
It
depressed.
is interesting. Did you watch it?
I've never seen the full thing. I see the clips that go on.
I found like the first, 15 to 20 minutes, I thought were a lot of just kind of gotcha questions and the sort of funny moments of talking to protesters and the weird woke people. But then when it actually gets to where he's talking to an actual psychologist who is against this stuff, and there's a man who did transition and now detransition and regrets it. It's really fascinating to see. And it is interesting when he goes to these college professors and these people pushing this ideology, they really, truly cannot define what it is they believe.
It's so wild.
Yeah.
But don't subscribe to the Daily Wire. Subscribe to the Babylon
Just buy
Bee.
our shirt instead, because you don't need to watch a 2-hour documentary. You just need to get the shirt, read the shirt, and you're good.
Much better.
And support your favorite funny crew.
Oh, we already spoiled this joke, but here's our banger of the week. Americans are discovering that if we want to change the nation, we have to change the way the marketplace works. And that change starts with you, with your local communities, and with your wallet. Be deliberate with your dollars and reject woke corporations. Imagine a world in which every single dollar you spend would go towards companies that share your values for life, liberty, and patriotism. Now with the Public Square app, you can. Public SQ, or Public Square, is an app and website that connects freedom-loving Americans to the community and companies that share their values. Engage in a nationwide platform with the largest directory of patriotic businesses and consumers, all while accessing exclusive savings at businesses that see the world the way you do. The marketplace is free to join for consumers and business owners alike. To get started and shop your values, download the Public Square app from the App Store or Google Play, or click on the link in the video description.
Banger of the week.
Fox News fires the only reason people watch Fox News. The picture of good old Tucker there.
When I saw that on Instagram, I was like, that's not even satire.
That's not true. I mean, everybody watches Gutfeld. Please have me back on.
The Gutfeld is my personal
I don't
favorite.
consider Gutfeld Fox News, it's just like the
Well, he's on there.
late night. Yeah.
I like Harris Faulkner too. You ever watch her in the morning? She's good.
I don't have cable, so I've never watched
Yeah, I don't have
I'll
cable.
still watch Fox News.
So maybe I just don't watch Fox News, but
All right, in honor of
the
Tucker
best.
Carlson, let's all stare at the camera with Tucker Carlson baffled face. A moment of bafflement for Tucker.
I always
Do you not
break
honor
first.
Tucker? You had
I'm sorry. I need to work on holding my
And he always
face.
goes, and we wanted to know, why is that?
Why is that?
Why is that?
I liked your headline pitch for that.
Always does that. That's like his catchphrase.
He said, "You're fired," and he goes.
Why is that?
The news broke Monday when Fox News said they were parting ways, and his last show was Friday. So, yeah, it sounds like they fired him. I mean, that's usually what that means, right? And they're like, we have decided to part ways.
Yeah.
His last segment on Friday was eating pizza with a pizza delivery man.
Oh,
Stopped a criminal.
That guy was from Pennsylvania. He tripped a robber that was running from a car chase. Yeah.
I have a couple
and he didn't even drop the pizza. He was holding pizzas.
So, do you guys think that this? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with this segment. I think it's his show. This was like a final straw thing, or this is something that's been like brewing for a
eating
long
the
time.
Pizza? No, I don't think eating the
That's
pizza.
it. He had a pizza delivery
I
man
mean,
on.
I don't
Get him outta
know.
here.
It sounds like there's something that's been afoot for a long time, and you know,
Well, they
so
just
I
they
can't wait
just
to find
paid
out what
out.
really
They
happened.
just paid out that almost $1 billion, or agreed to it, the settlement
the
with
Dominion
Dominion for
settlement.
the Dominion lawsuit. So that may have had something to do with it.
Did he make any Dominion claims?
He had
I think he had people on you.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Dominion's main claims, there were a few of their hosts on Fox News that sort of passively agreed with statements that were made by the people pushing the Dominion conspiracy theory, but it was mostly just that they had on guests that were putting that out there. But then there were also, now I don't know how much of this is true, there are also with the Tucker firing rumors of like, you know, discrimination and harassment and stuff like that. There's different people who have made claims like that behind the scenes too.
Yeah.
The Dominion thing's pretty crazy. I mean, they didn't find any evidence of any kind of glitchiness in Dominion, but the mail-in voting
I think
is kind
it
of
was
the culprit
the
for
more
a lot.
extreme accusations that got them in trouble. Like you could say, yeah, let's question the glitchiness, but like saying that this is a fraud thing that is designed to elect Joe Biden or something, and then if they can't find proof of that, now it's slander or libel.
Got it.
So Tucker would consistently get 3 to 4 million viewers a night, tripling CNN's numbers.
Whoa.
Yeah, Tucker's been kind of a mainstay for a while there on Fox News. But
Did you guys see that picture of him? The paparazzi, I guess, showed up at his Florida. I don't know. He's in Florida right now, and they found him. They found him wherever he's hanging out, and he just like laughed, like howled with laughter, and drove away on his little golf cart.
on a golf cart, he's
looking like he's having a great time. Like he is not losing sleep over this at all. You know, he knows that he has a really loyal audience, and I'm not really worried. I think he's gonna just keep on keeping on.
Well, I don't know what kind of exclusivity they have in his contract, but you got to think that Fox News needed him more than he needed Fox News. And he
He'll
could go
definitely
off and
land
launch
on his
something.
feet somewhere, yeah.
He'd launch his own podcast. It would be the most popular podcast in the world for a while, at least. I mean, I always appreciate how Tucker kind of pushed back on the regular conservative talking points, whether it was war or some of the vaccine stuff.
He was always somebody I described as, I agreed with him like 70 to 80% of the time, and then I disagree with him sometimes, but I always liked hearing his point of view on things, even if I wasn't on the same page sometimes.
Yeah. Really talented speaker. Just really knows how to hold your attention. I think a lot of anchors kind of have this like uniformity in the way they speak, and he doesn't. Like he really knows how to hold your attention and just share. I think he speaks straight from the heart. So I like listening to him.
All right. Well, now that we've talked about the news this week, let's look at what's in the news this week.
What's in the news this week?
Biden announced his re-election campaign officially, and his new slogan is ominous: "Finish the job."
It totally is like a supervillain.
It does sound like
finish the job. Like you could see Thanos on a poster with "Finish the job" or something.
Yeah, he's the oldest in history. He'll be 86 if he won 4 more years after the next 2. So he's getting up there. And I guess he announced this via a video message because they don't really let him talk to the public anymore.
And they started releasing all these images as a series, kind of like putting out his policy positions. And he said, Rebecca put the teacher's creed into words when she said, there's no such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are our children. That's why our administration supports the teachers who care for them. And they have a bunch of weird quotes like this, which is really doubling down on that.
Believes that Joe Biden is in charge right now. Not even a lot of like lefties, like extreme lefties are like, yeah, he's not in charge. Like this is a joke. Like we're a laughing stock. Like what's going on? So
But they're okay with that. Like as long as the administration is kind of pushing those party points and the leftist progressive policies that they want, they're okay if he's just a figurehead.
I'm mentally preparing for a very annoying election year next year. I'm mentally preparing to mentally check out because I just can't. Do you guys think that they're going to keep mail-in votes?
Oh yeah, all the
Every person.
I think they'll try to. Yeah.
all the Democrat states will definitely do
just
it.
needs to go. It's not fair. Like it's just not fair.
It's like California law now, isn't it? Like they would just mail a ballot to every home.
It's just not fair.
His campaign video opened with scenes of January 6th and flashes images of MAGA extremists like Trump and MTG. And it talks about abortion and LGBTQ rights.
Right.
So Trump versus Biden, this will be an exciting new thing for us to experience.
Yeah, more material.
It's January 6th, and then they want to kill babies and call men ladies, and that's their entire
That's
platform.
the whole platform.
That's the entire modern Democratic Party.
Democracy.
Well, let's talk about the other Biden. A judge has ruled that Hunter Biden must appear in an Arkansas court for his paternity case.
Whoa.
Lawyers for London Roberts, the mothers, say Hunter Biden has not provided a single item or word of discovery in their ongoing child support lawsuit. That's surprising. He struck me as a really smart guy.
Yeah.
And
you didn't know about this?
Yeah.
Amongst all his other scandals, he got a stripper in Arkansas pregnant and had a baby. And then he sued. He sued to make what is it for now? The baby, I guess, 4-year-old.
Post-birth abortion?
Yeah, 4-year-old.
No, he sued to make
to abort the 4th.
Here.
Make the kid not use his last name anymore.
Oh my god.
Oh my word.
He's
wow.
previously tried to prevent him from taking his last name. So the Independence County Circuit Court Judge Holly Meyer ordered Biden to attend the court hearing on May 1st because his absence is interfering with the process of litigation. Where's Hunter?
Wow. I actually can't believe I didn't hear about that.
At least there's one court somewhere in this country that's holding Hunter accountable.
What a mess this person is. I mean, you never hear about this kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy when you think about like the information like war we kind of have going. We're in the information age, sure, but you know, I mean, I guess we just can't expect
He's got
every
so many scandals.
detail.
How do you keep track
It's
of them all?
insane. And they keep saying, well, the investigation is ongoing, but there's so many obvious crimes that he's committed on video.
That's why it's ongoing. They just keep on.
insane.
They just keep on coming out.
Yeah.
Yikes. Justin Trudeau admits COVID jabs have side effects. What? Claims he never forced anyone to get vaccinated. That's interesting.
Wow.
The quote is, there are potential side effects in vaccinations, and there are probably people who have gotten very sick from vaccinations. Wow. Individuals are allowed to make their own choices. There are all sorts of reasons why someone is hesitant to get vaccinated. While not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, I chose to make sure that all the incentives, like free burgers and whatever else they gave away.
Donuts, free cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll fire you if you don't get it.
And we'll fire you.
Yeah. Incentives.
Incentives.
And all the protections were there to encourage Canadians to get vaccinated. Oh my gosh, I wish we had our
I had not
Canadian
heard about
doctor
that until...
sketch ready to go.
We didn't talk about, I don't know if we're going to talk about it here, but Fauci,
Maybe it will be.
Fauci did the same thing, didn't? Yeah, we don't talk
He
about
said
it.
he never locked anything
Like,
down.
I'm not talking about lockdowns. Lockdowns? What lockdowns?
Oh my gosh.
I hadn't heard about this with Trudeau, though. That's
And he just
crazy.
went so hard,
Trudeau's
it's
government froze the bank accounts of the people involved with the trucker
Right.
convoy who were protesting the lockdowns and vax mandates.
Incentives.
Yeah. He said they, meaning the anti-vaxxers, don't believe in science and progress and are very often misogynistic and racist.
This was 2 years ago. Yeah.
But these are the things that he said prior to this current claim that he didn't force anyone to get the vaccine.
What is he saying in this next part? It's a very small group of people, but that doesn't shy away from the fact that they take up some space. This leads us as a leader and as a country to make a choice. Do we tolerate these people? What kind of a question is that? And what is the alternative to tolerating people who disagree with you?
And as a country to make a choice.
I really wish. Okay, we just filmed a sketch about
tolerate these people, eh?
Canadian doctors. Well, it's not exactly the same concept, but how they just keep prescribing euthanasia for everything. I wish we had that ready. Maybe it will be ready by the time this goes out. Maybe not. Keep an eye out for it though on the Babylon Bee YouTube channel.
Now that you know what it is and how it ends.
And all of the punchlines. I'm sorry. just we can edit that all out. I'm sorry.
In positive news, Don Lemon got fired. Are you learning about all this news as we say? She's like, what? What? You're like a stand-in for the audience. Yeah. Like what they're going to be saying. Wow, I didn't know that.
I'm the liaison. I've heard about a few of these things.
They moved him. He lost his show, and they moved him on like their Good Morning America style show or whatever.
Where he could insult the ladies to the face.
He said that women are past their prime. He got into an argument with Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm sure I said that great. Over whether the Civil War and Civil Rights Movement actually gave equal rights to black people and gun rights. And his co-host Poppy just started staring at her phone as Lemon ripped into Vivek saying, "Your telling of history is wrong, and I think it's insulting that you're sitting here, whatever ethnicity you are. What it's like to be black in America." That's a great picture.
It's quite interesting that he got...
He looks so embarrassed to be there with him.
Because I think I saw something recently comparing Don Lemon maybe 10 years ago and how kind of normal and centrist he kind of seemed.
He wasn't
and how
terrible
extreme he
during
is.
his first season there.
So do you think that was like a personal, growth or whatever? Or do you think that was something that was encouraged by the network? Because it seems like
I don't think
like
the
it.
network encouraged it. I think he became more extreme.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Maybe he just got a big head and this was like, my opinion is right.
It's how cable news media is. Like, you're trying to throw the red meat out there, and then you get the big views for the big controversial video or whatever, and he just kind of fell
And I
into
think
that.
there's a thing where, I'm sure all news personalities and TV personalities go through this, where when you're first hired, the network kind of has power over you. Then as you grow an audience, you think more and more, I can say what I want. The network's not going to fire me. It's like I have this platform to use as my mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So,
yeah.
In Disney news.
Disney is now suing Governor Ron DeSantis and others after a panel of his allies voted to nullify Disney's control over expansion at its Florida resort, claiming a targeted campaign of government retaliation.
All right. So Disney's suing DeSantis. They also made a bunch of cuts in a second round of layoffs, including Nate Silver. Disney announced in February that they would be laying off 7,000 jobs due to cash flow issues. So that's good.
I know a couple people who work for the Disney Corporation, and from what I've experienced, just like in knowing them, they've gotten fired or laid off, and then they'll get rehired and they'll get fired again. It's like they're just like being kind of jerked around by this corporation, and I find it quite interesting that they keep going back, because that's gotta be kind of, I don't know, traumatizing to be in a volatile employment relationship.
So it sounds like a lot of these jobs are coming out of ABC and ESPN, 538. Yeah, so it's like the news brand, maybe not necessarily the parks or the entertainment divisions.
Interesting. So it's not because of the gay stuff.
Well, I don't know where all those are coming from, but from this, it sounds like a lot of those are from the news sections of the business. So.
Can't wait for The Little Mermaid, though. By the way, I did see the trailer for it, and I'm sure there's the consent and the kiss the girl song. I heard about a couple things, but the trailer looked pretty good, and it looks like they're trying to do like a frame by frame in some parts, like the famous clips from the old one. It looked like they're trying to reimagine that in the live action version.
I thought it looked terrible, and my opinion on Disney live action remakes is they either do the shot for shot remake thing, in which case I'm like, why don't I just watch the original?
Right.
Or they like add a bunch of different songs and new stuff, and then it just feels like bad fan fiction. So it's like they can't win with it.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I'm of the mind, as I'm with most Hollywood remakes, if it was a good movie back then, it's still a good movie.
Yeah,
just let it go. You don't have to remake it, whether it's animated or live. Let it be.
The best thing to remake are the ones that had a lot of potential but weren't executed that well.
Yeah,
something that was really cheesy, or they didn't have the special effects at the time. But now it's like Little Mermaid.
Spider-Man for the 10th time
Exactly.
this decade. We're gonna do another Spider-Man.
Not really remakes, but. Yeah, but like Little Mermaid was beautifully animated originally, and this new one just looks so murky.
I'm on Chandler's side. Those are remakes. We don't need any more Spider-Man movies. It's
well,
the same story every time.
I
Every
know.
2 years, here's Spider-Man's origin story.
No new ideas are coming out, and I just heard they're doing a Good Burger sequel now, and I just find it interesting that
I'm curious about that.
I'm curious about it too. I just think that in general, I'm not critical of that necessarily. I just think in general we're kind of lacking new ideas in the entertainment department of our culture.
Did you see the render of Flounder?
No.
Looks horrible.
Is it like a real flounder?
It's like real,
with
like
2 eyes on the same side of its head.
No, they're on different sides.
Oh, I want it to be an adult flounder, like a flatfish with the 2 eyes.
Is that how they actually are?
I think if I'm not mistaken, when a flounder is young, I think it has the eyes on a different side of its head. But then I think
then
when it matures, aren't they the flatfish?
Are those like sunfish?
And
I don't know what
I'm
flounders
forgetting the
are,
name of the actress that's playing
Like,
the
look
new
at this.
Ariel, but she
It's, like,
she
terrifying.
sounded really good in the trailer. I was like, oh, okay, like the singing
Prepare
sounds
to be terrified.
good. Ah!
It's just like very, very uncanny valley.
That is the actual.
That's the one from the
What?
from the movie. That's coming
Oh,
up.
that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I'm not.
That's what a real flounder
We
looks like.
you gotta make sure you take a screenshot and send that to Dan so he knows.
Oh,
what
yeah,
it looks
Dan-
like.
Both of
Dan got pulled
it lays flat on the bottom.
I wish they did
And
that.
its eyes, they're kind of like crooked on the side of its head.
Yeah, I didn't see the new Aladdin, so that probably was bad
I've watched
too.
very few of them. I watched. I saw the Jungle Book one, and I'm trying to think if I've watched any of the other live actions.
Yeah, I didn't see the Lion King. I haven't seen any of the live actions, but I will say like the trailer kind of excited me a little bit because I saw like, oh, they're doing like a frame by frame thing, and I'm forgetting her name's Bailey or something, Chloe.
Hale Bailey or something.
Something like that. Yeah, she sounded really good singing. So I was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to be totally. I'm still willing to see it, but yeah, I just think that we've run out of ideas. You know, no one's willing to take a risk anymore.
She doesn't have red hair. It's very sad.
She does not.
I mean, they kind of put a red tint on it, but it's not like.
Yeah.
The only way I approve of remaking the old Disney animated movies is at the Disney Animation Studio at Disneyland. There's a little booth where you and your friends can re-record the voiceovers.
Oh, that's cool.
So they give you the lines and then you can record it and play it back. But you don't have to use the real lines. So you can make the characters curse at each other and say all sorts of stuff.
That's
it's so much fun.
They
Where's
give you the
that?
video and everything,
The-
even when you
it
curse.
just plays it back live there.
Okay.
So as long as the employees don't come over and stop you, you can make the characters. It's so funny.
Like a mystery science
Yeah.
theater.
Oh,
that's
that's
kind
great.
of fun.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
is that in
It's in the animation studio part of Disneyland. I think it might be in California Adventure.
Okay,
awesome.
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I've been over to that section, but I've never done that. Hey, let's check in on San Francisco.
Let's check in on San Francisco.
A San Francisco Target has put its entire inventory on lockdown amid shoplifting crisis. How do you even?
You can't even shop.
It's
You need
insane.
somebody to escort you.
They've
do
been
you
doing
even
this
shop
more
there?
and more, even in LA.
I know.
Now they don't have the whole store on lockdown like this, but when
Like
I was at
electronics aisle
when I was
or,
at the
you know, something.
Rite Aid that I used to go to near my apartment in Studio City,
Toothpaste.
they lock up the toothpaste. I just go in there and it's like you have to call an employee to unlock the case to get out just simple stuff because there's people stealing all the time.
Yeah, I've seen like makeup and electronics, but other than that, I've never seen.
Yeah.
It just keeps
Anything like
incentivizing us to order everything online, and I don't necessarily. I do outsource a lot of things like that, but I don't want to completely lose my touch with the physical world, and this just isn't a fun shopping experience.
And what's weird is I've seen the homeless people in my neighborhood. Doesn't look like they've been stealing toothpaste.
Badum Tish. Speaking of Badum Tish, it's time for weekly news with Adam Yenser.
It's time for the weekly news with Adam Yenser.
Ed Sheeran is on trial this week for allegedly stealing the melody of Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On in his hit song Thinking Out Loud. Sheeran is also accused of stealing his look from a Times Square Elmo impersonator. Joe Biden officially announced that he is running for re-election in 2024. His nurse replied, "That's nice, Joe," and led him back to his room. A 13-year-old boy in North Carolina got stuck inside a claw machine while trying to steal toys. Police tried to free him, but then decided to go for the big Pikachu instead. Budweiser announced that marketing VP Alyssa Heinerscheid, who was behind the company's partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, has gone the way of Dylan's hormones and been replaced. Donald Trump made a surprise visit to a Florida pizza parlor and handed out slices to his supporters. Here's a picture. A judge ruled that Chicago must rehire and pay back city workers fired by Lori Lightfoot for not getting the COVID vaccine. Lightfoot had insisted everyone get the vaccine, saying, "I got it and look at me, I turned out fine." Several dead, mutilated cows have been found in Texas, sparking fears that aliens could be responsible. Which is crazy and stupid. There's obviously a perfectly logical explanation, the chupacabra. A moose wandered into a movie theater in Alaska and took a half-eaten McDonald's Happy Meal out of the trash before leaving, which begs the question, how did someone sneak a whole McDonald's Happy Meal into the theater? This week, Fox News announced that they've decided to part ways with their ratings. The network fired Tucker Carlson on Monday, the same day that CNN announced they fired Don Lemon. Both unemployed hosts were later seen lying to strangers on the subway for change. In a new Instagram video, Lizzo declared, "I am the beauty standard." Take a look at this clip. That's it for Weekly News. To see more, subscribe to my YouTube channel and come see me live. I'll be at Domaine Terrion Winery in Pennsylvania on April 29th, the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood on May 12th, and the Looney Bin in Tulsa, Oklahoma, May 31st to June 3rd.
If you like more jokes like that, enjoy Weekly News. Oh, that was great, Adam.
Good job.
All right, now we are going to try to guess what prompts Dan used in making this AI-generated art. Hey guys, Kyle here. We want you not to be limited by restrictive networks when it comes to choosing the healthcare providers and treatments that are right for you. There is another way. Samaritan Ministries connects hundreds of thousands of Christians across the nation who help pay one another's medical bills, all without the use of insurance. Consider this. A medical emergency arises. You don't have to check and see what hospital is in your network or be concerned about the emergency room doctor being in network too. Oh no. You go to the hospital you choose and don't give a second thought as to what's in network and what's not. Because with Samaritan Ministries, you're in control of your healthcare. After receiving care, you send your medical bills to Samaritan Ministries, and they notify fellow members to pray for you and send money directly to you to help you pay those bills. And when another member has a medical need, you'll do the same for them. That's what biblical healthcare sharing looks like. Check it out today at samaritanministries.org/thebabylonbee. That's samaritanministries.org/thebabylonbee.
Now let's see what AI's up to now. Right.
So here we go. All right, here's the first piece of art. Pull this up on, watch this on YouTube if you're not. Guess the prompt. So we've got Trump.
AI generated?
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
So we've got Trump and Pope Francis with sunglasses on. So
I think it's create a poster for an action movie starring Donald Trump and Pope Francis.
Something
Are we
like,
gonna get the
I think we each take. I think we each take a guess and then we see.
Or are these the same? Is this part of the same prompt? They're very similar. Trump guiding the Pope around who's blind. Maybe. What's your guess? Or maybe they're rap.
Yeah. Trump and Pope Francis about to drop the most fire album of 2023.
I think that's it, word for word. What is the prompt, Dan?
Donald Trump and the Pope in a buddy cop movie.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty close. That's one point for Adam.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Ding. Nice. Okay.
Whoa. Noah's Ark claymation movie.
Well, that's Ken Ham.
Oh, I didn't know who that. I was gonna guess. What if David Letterman built an ark?
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say a play set of Noah's Ark with a Ken Ham action figure.
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
I think I have a different theory.
There's another hand there.
He's got
with
three
arms.
He has 3 arms for some reason.
But the creatures are weird. I think this might be what would it look like if Noah had saved the dinosaurs?
Oh.
What was your guess?
I said Noah's Ark claymation movie.
All right, that's wrong, but okay. What's the what is the answer, Dan? Imagine a Pixar movie screenshot of Ken Ham on an ark with animals.
What's interesting is they do look like dinosaurs, though.
They look like
I thought you were gonna. Yeah.
But I wonder if the AI grabbed that because they actually did that. He's big on the dinosaur thing.
I said claymation, but that's kind of what I meant, like animated. So I was kind of right.
I'll give you a half a point.
Yeah.
I'll take half a point because you were saying
I'll take half a point.
You said that I was totally wrong, and I resent that.
And
you said Ken Ham.
I'll take a half a point. I like it. We can just give ourselves points.
Yeah,
okay, so now we have this young man that's.
I think this is what if Tucker Carlson was a boy band singer?
Ooh, I think you're right.
Tucker Carlson as a boy singing the national anthem.
Yeah, young Tucker Carlson.
It looks like a combination of Tucker Carlson and Harry Styles.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if we can go all in on this one and split the point, but I think that that's about right. Young Tucker Carlson singing.
Good answer. Good answer.
Top ballad.
Good answer.
Yeah,
see.
thank you. Thank you.
If Tucker Carlson released a contemporary Christian, that's you, man.
It's close.
You're really
I'll
good
take
at
a half-
this,
yeah,
Adam.
Half point,
Half point for
maybe.
both.
One
of you.
third. One third
Half
for
point for
all
both
of
of
us.
you.
Well, you said the
One
same
and a
thing.
half.
No, I said he was singing the national anthem.
Well, it's
As a
very
boy.
patriotic
He was a boy
background.
band
That doesn't look
singer.
very Christian. Whoa.
These are other
options from
Wow.
other
MN.
ones they generated.
That's AI generate. That's so funny because I don't even think that looks. I think
I don't
I
think
see
those,
the hair.
Those don't look as much
but-
like Tucker Carlson.
yeah, I don't know if I would have guessed. Maybe the hair, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Guess the prompt.
This is Travis.
Travis. It's definitely Travis.
With somebody, maybe?
Travis and Elon Musk.
You think that's Travis and Elon Musk?
I don't know if it's Elon,
Could
but
be Elon.
I'm
It
gonna
could
say,
be.
what if Travis took over Rachel Maddow's show?
Travis.
Travis looks good here.
Yeah, so it's a.
Travis looks good in real life.
I'm just saying
on.
here as well.
She's like
He also
surprised.
looks-
She's like, whoa.
No,
Whoa, he
I
looks
just,
good.
That's not how I said it. I just said it. I like this look for him.
I'm gonna say Travis. Travis is a successful businessman, I guess.
I think it's Elon because look at the eyebrows.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, what's the
I finally get one. Oh,
Travis as the new host of Tucker Carlson tonight,
Darn.
which would make him
I
a
picked the
successful
wrong
businessman.
show, but yeah.
I really. Oh wow. I really
that
thought I was
one.
gonna. Wow.
That's
If
pretty good.
we ever have an AI generated show here, that's got to be the host
This-
right there.
I know him already.
Yeah, I feel like I know what he would say and stuff.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm gonna
Kirk
say-
Cameron
I think
in
we know.
Kirk
Lord of the
Cameron
Rings.
in Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
No.
All right.
Hobbit.
Well, that
counts.
That
Yeah.
counts.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, we'll split
Points,
that.
points all around. Points
That's-
all around.
Yeah, a third of a point. Oh my gosh. Is that
Almost look like
is that
Seth.
Seth?
And it looks like he's fighting Kung Fu Panda.
Seth, and he's got a sword there.
Seth painted in the Sistine Chapel in the style of Michelangelo. What?
Man fighting panda is
Wow.
Michelangelo. Hey, that's pretty good.
That's at least like 2/3
but
of a
it says
point.
man fighting. Did we say that it was Seth, or did it just happen
I
to
think
look like
I
Seth?
think they uploaded his picture and it generated
Oh, I see.
yeah. So
see.
yes, that's the source image they used to generate
see.
that. Yeah. Oh, good guess,
Wow.
Chandler.
Uh,
Bill Cosby in a
Jello.
Loading
Bowl
in
of
a tub of
Jell-O?
Jello. Oh,
but he's in the
Bill,
ocean,
is
right?
does it have to do with something about Bill Cosby promoting jellyfish or something like that?
Because he's in the ocean.
Combine Bill Cosby and
Jello-fish?
jellyfish.
These look real.
Something like that.
What is that yellow stuff? And I don't know if I want to know.
Oh, what if Bill Cosby spiked a drink with himself?
I don't even know what to guess for this one. Because the one on the left, the two on the left look real, and the ones on the right don't look like him. But yeah, I guess I'll say Bill Cosby doing a ice plunge in a tub of Jello in the ocean.
What do we got?
See.
Bill Cosby swimming in a giant Jello pudding cup.
What's interesting is why is it in the
why
ocean?
did it put it in the ocean?
That's weird. That is weird.
funny.
Giant Jello
Like
pudding
that
cup.
was unnecessary.
It's
but-
strange that they put it in the ocean.
Oh,
That's Larry David.
Larry David.
And,
John Piper.
oh, okay.
Larry David and John Piper mashed together.
nice.
Piper stars in
well
Curb Your
done. That's a
Enthusiasm.
full point for you.
Okay.
Oof.
Joe Biden as a Sith Lord.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name that has the giant head, but whatever his name is.
Joe Biden, Emperor.
Oh, yeah.
Palpatine.
See, he doesn't look like... He looks like that guy that has, like, the giant forehead. and-
Coyote-Mundi, but
that
he's
what
a
his name is?
Jedi.
Oh, he's not a Sith.
Yeah.
Okay. Shows how much I know. Is this me?
That looks like. Oh, is it you as
Kyle in the Lion's Den?
Yeah.
Maybe? Oh, in Narnia. I'm in
Yeah,
Narnia.
yeah.
Kyle as a kid in Narnia.
Aww.
Well, that's kind of cute.
I like that.
It's kind of creepy
That's
that I
like-
look 12 with a full
The
goatee.
goatee. I do like that art though. That's like kind of cool. It's kind of
yeah.
weird, but it's also cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
I wish someone actually painted that though. Like that's like I think the part that's weird for me is I don't know if I would ever hang AI art in my house because it's like, oh wow, what's the story behind the art? Well, I just clicked a button on the internet and there it is. It's like kind of I don't know, lacks that like
when you grapple with
meaning.
what it means for AI and like to me make stuff like this, it's like AI has outperformed humans at certain tasks for a long time.
Yeah.
Like just calculating math or beating us at checkers or beating us at chess. You know, that doesn't take away from the fact that it's enjoyable to play chess or to paint
Yeah.
a painting or to write a story.
That's valid.
Ron
I
Paul
guess the
killing
meaning
himself
comes
with
from
a lightsaber.
Ron Paul shooting himself with a lightsaber when he sees how terrible the country is being run. Oh, this is the same prompt. Ron Paul, what does he have?
He's touching the blade.
That's not what you do with a lightsaber.
Discovering electricity through
They also have a cap.
lightsabers.
It looks like fluorescent light. Ron Paul using fluorescent light bulbs as a lightsaber.
LEDs, yeah.
Ron Paul lightsaber battle. Okay. I think the AI didn't quite.
That one's
That's cool, except the lightsaber's like way off.
Yeah, the AI doesn't seem to be very good at this prompt.
No.
Yeah, the AI doesn't understand the rules of the lightsaber. They're not Star Wars fans.
Yeah, AI definitely isn't a fan.
Huh.
What does that say? These. And we have a guy.
It's like in Dutch or something. I don't know.
I can't recognize who that guy is if that's supposed to be a celebrity of some sort, so that's not helping.
Yeah,
but he's got a bunch of followers.
It's It looks
kind of like Obi-Wan.
Is Obi-Wan combined with somebody else?
Could be. I don't know who that's supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know. A young Owen Wilson hitchhiking with a bunch of Jews.
Or Amish people.
How'd I do? Imagine Adam.
What?
In the Lord of the Rings.
I'm sorry. They failed on this one.
See, I didn't even recognize myself.
No, I didn't either. No, I would have recognized you. That doesn't look
And you don't
like
look very recognizable in that picture.
Maybe it was just a bad picture. And maybe it got confused from the background or something.
That's what it did. It grabbed his canceled news background and it made it like that was part of the...
So it's like if the canceled news was in the universe of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Subscribe to the canceled news on my YouTube channel. Elon Musk in the screen.
In the screen, yeah, definitely.
Wow. He looks really thin there. Wow.
Wow, this is quite amazing.
The lower right one looks, but he also has some like Robert Downey Jr. in that lower right one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should hang up that top right one in the studio.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, a raccoon.
I'm going to say raccoon driving.
In a Kia commercial.
But what is
that on
a cracker trying to get in or something?
I don't know what
a raccoon driving a car and a piece of matzo bread is trying to break in.
Nailed it.
Or they're training the raccoon to drive with the incentive of a cracker.
Okay.
Or matzo cracker.
What is the answer? Imagine pancakes driving a car.
What?
So it didn't really do that.
Is pancakes a character that I'm
the
not
name of a raccoon?
Maybe pancakes is the name of a raccoon. Yeah.
But each one looks so different.
They tried a few different angles here.
That's so
that
odd.
one
AI seems very confused.
And that one it doesn't know which direction you're supposed to hold the steering wheel. Like the dog is sitting on the wrong side.
Wow.
So.
Oh boy.
So this is Chandler.
Yeah, that's so weird. A lot of my friends have done the AI generated art of us, and I haven't done it because I just like.
But
this is kind of weirding me out.
Are you mixed with someone?
I don't know. Maybe.
Chandler playing April O'Neil in Ninja Turtles.
Chandler as a Jew.
Am I supposed to guess?
Juliet.
Jew.
But spelled J-E-W.
Juliet. I do look mixed with somebody else. I don't think that looks like me.
I can't think of who that is.
The eyes are hazel, and it honestly kind of looks like my sister.
Chandler and her sister. Chandler in the animated Super Mario Brothers movie.
Wow, I look very Italian in that animation.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that. That makes me so happy. Send me that picture, Dan. That makes me happy.
All right.
Oh, this is definitely Jarrett. Right?
Yeah.
Jacked Jarrett as triplets.
Jacked Jarrett triplets.
I'm going to say if Jarrett was triplets and they hosted an Andrew Tate style podcast.
All right, what's the answer? Jarrett in a bodybuilder competition.
Why are there
Against
three
two
of
of himself.
them? Yeah, why are there... Wow.
I also think that's a weird source
picture.
image of,
Yeah, that doesn't look like him.
It looks AI generated.
Yeah, he looks different than that. I don't know where Dan's finding these pictures. Maybe on Facebook.
So this is a skeleton. One arm is digging something out.
Wow, this one looks a little bit more
what is that?
artistic.
There's like a newspaper or a can or
It's like a newspaper.
It looks
something
like
rolled up there maybe?
Skull
skeleton digging his own grave by reading the news.
in the style of something?
Yeah, in the style of
Comic book or
Garfield.
I don't think Jim Davis draws like that.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
What's the answer?
I don't know what this one is.
The devil burying the dinosaur bones.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
I like
see
the
that.
prompt, but I wish it's not a good.
Like
I don't see any dinosaur bones in this.
And that doesn't look like the devil. Fail.
You failed, robot. They do a really good Trump, I have to say.
I love this one.
They must have a lot of images to pull from.
What is he playing? What game is that?
Is that some Star Wars?
Is that
game?
D&D? You guys, don't you would know, Kyle. You're like the game master.
Oh, it could be D&D. That's not how D&D looks like, but I could see it getting confused and thinking that's D&D.
Or Game of... Is that something from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, don't they have all those games, like in-universe games?
What's the new Game of Thrones one? I forget what it's called.
The Witcher or...
No, the prequel series. I forget what it's called.
The Dragon something?
Yeah.
House of the Dragon.
I'm gonna say... Oh, go ahead.
Trump playing D&D, I think, is the...
Yeah, second that.
Boom.
Yeah! See, I nailed that and I don't even know what D&D is.
Yeah. And it threw me off because it's definitely not D&D. Okay,
wow.
So we have a red...
Okay, hear me out.
Mascot of some kind.
Kool-Aid Man.
Uh-huh.
IRL.
Yeah.
But there's some kind of emergency,
IRL.
like he just set a fire or something?
Kool-Aid Man after he like busted through a wall or something. IRL.
Like this is a mascot of fire.
I don't like the way he looks in
This is a
real life.
fireman. This was the same problem. Oh, is this Elmo?
What?
Is it like Elmo setting fire to a house?
It looks like he's farting in both of them, though.
I didn't get that from the first one, but okay.
There's like a smoky haze behind him.
Maybe Elmo.
I'm going to say Elmo setting fire to houses.
Setting fire to buildings. The first one, wow, we had totally something different, but all right.
All right, what is the answer? Imagine Kool-Aid Man saving kids.
Wow.
It does not look like he's saving any
The second
kids.
one totally looked
The Kool-Aid Man at all.
like Elmo.
AI clearly doesn't know who the Kool-Aid Man is.
It's very strange.
See, we can't be replaced, guys.
Jim Jones.
Yes.
The Kool-Aid.
Don Lemon serving drinks at Starbucks.
Starbies.
At his new job. Don Lemon at Starbucks.
Well
barista.
done. Well done.
Goodness, you guys did a lot of
Golden
these.
Girls
playing D&D.
Playing D&D.
D&D.
Playing another one of your games, Kyle.
I mean, it could be D&D.
It's probably a game that you and Dan have played together.
Magic the Gathering, maybe? Oh, it was D&D, yeah.
All right.
That's definitely not D&D, though.
Pancakes
Yes.
writes a memoir while wearing a hat.
Definitely pancakes again.
A raccoon detective.
Raccoon private investigator. A raccoon reporter, maybe. Raccoon doing taxes. Yeah, okay.
I like that he wore a hat to do his taxes.
All right, it's time.
Got to put on my tax hat to do my raccoon taxes.
Did a little thing, yeah.
I find them so
Oh my
cute.
gosh,
Ugh.
this is fantastic.
Donald Trump Pikachu. That's so disturbing, but also, yeah, because Pikachu always looks happy, but he looks so angry here.
Not the Pikachu I know.
Oh, is that
Trump is a
Oh.
Pokemon, yeah.
They picked the most
They
famous
cle-
one.
Yeah, they clearly went with Pikachu.
No clue.
Is that somebody that we know?
Mm,
Is that Dan?
Dan as a royal
band to me. King.
king?
Somebody as like a Game of Thrones king or something.
I'm just gonna say
or
King.
Solomon.
King David in a Call of Duty game. It does have that style of a Call of Duty game, yeah. So is this Rand Paul as Doctor Strange? I got a word for word.
Wow.
20 points.
That's good. Colonel Sanders as a general?
What does that say on his
somebody
badge?
else. It's
Yeah,
I can't tell.
yeah.
who
It's in
it is.
Russian.
It is somebody though.
Who's the diabetes guy?
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley is Colonel
I
Sanders.
feel like it's
Bernie Sanders or who's the
there is some base
like a
face
politician.
there,
Colonel Sanders as an actual colonel.
there's a politician who looks like that. I'm trying to think of I don't
Wait,
know.
was Colonel Sanders actually a colonel before he started making chicken?
Jim Jordan as Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. Okay, so it wasn't just Colonel
It does-
Sanders.
it
Kinda
looks
looks
like
like
some
somebody.
sort of
I
weird
get at
face.
least
That's how they
half
work.
a
Is
point
it just
for that.
pulls real faces in.
Yeah.
Half a
Colonel
point.
Colonel Sanders wins the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Oh boy.
Dennis Prager looking at
Yeah,
porn.
exactly.
Looking at what?
Porn.
Porn.
Why?
It only has one hand.
That's where you're hiding his computer. I guess it's a safer prompt than the prompt to get.
It probably wouldn't let you.
I bet Dan had to like
if you typed in
wipe
porn,
his
it
eyes.
wouldn't
probably made the mistake once.
Yeah, and he's like, let's not do that one. Let's not do that one. Oh. Who is
Nicolas
that?
Cage,
Is that
maybe?
Fauci in a dinosaur movie? I don't know who that is. But he looks familiar.
Who that is.
He's got guns.
With a third leg.
So I think the AI screws up sometimes and duplicates limbs.
Fauci in a dinosaur video game fights a dinosaur with 3 legs.
I'm gonna say Nicolas Cage in Night at the
old.
Creation Museum. C.S. Lewis, a main character in a PlayStation game, Dino Crisis cinematic angle polygon graphics shooting a dinosaur. That was my second guess. That was gonna be my next guess.
Right. Why are there 3 legs though? And Dan, you throw me off when you circle the third leg.
Like you're supposed to guess. No, I think he's just pointing out that
Oh.
that the AI screws up. And
I see. I like that bird. That's like a really cool bird.
Nice bird.
Oh.
So this is a VeggieTales, like a gritty VeggieTales reboot, or
VeggieTales when they hear about the
VeggieTales
scurvy
with
crisis.
eyebrows. What is the answer?
Oh wow.
Imagine a VeggieTales episode opposing women pastors. How would we ever have guessed that?
These faces are so interesting.
All right. So we did pretty good. We all got 400 points.
Yeah.
So well done.
All won.
All right. Now to do something a little funnier after that very serious segment, we're going to talk with Bethany, Mandel, and Karol Markowicz on their new book, Stolen Youth, with Adam and Emma.
Yeah,
So
they were great.
here we go.
And now it's time for another interview on the Babylon Bee podcast.
We're here with the co-authors of Stolen Youth. We have Bethany and Karol. How are you all doing?
Good.
Good.
Thank God, can't complain.
Nice. So tell us about this book that you have out.
Sure. So it is sort of a deep dive into all of the different ways that sort of liberalism, progressivism, wokeness, whatever you want to call it, is impacting children's lives. We sort of hit at it from a lot of different angles, from medical angle, from schools, you name it. Sort of everywhere you turn, there is a very concerted effort to indoctrinate children, and we set out to expose that.
Our book is a story of what happens when all the Babylon Bee headlines come true.
And they seem to be coming true by the day. Yes, exactly.
They are.
I think
It's actually a little creepy.
An article came out that 100 of our Babylon Bee articles have come true.
Yeah. That our prophecies
I'm
fulfilled.
surprised it's that low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably more than that, but...
And Karol, you are from the Soviet Union. Was it nice there?
It was so nice. We didn't want to leave, but
The weather of Southern California, or of Southern Florida rather, really lured you away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was born there. I came to New York as a small child, but I live in South Florida now, and I get asked a lot why I love the heat so much, and clearly because I've been from cold places, and I'm ready to embrace living in a t-shirt. So it's been good.
Where in the Soviet Union were you born, and do you have any memories of that era?
I don't have memories. I came when I was a little under 2. My first memories, we had to go to Italy on the way to the US. It used to be sort of this thing in immigration where you weren't allowed to just hop a flight to wherever you wanted or cross a border. You had to actually apply. And so Italy was the staging ground for Soviets who were fleeing and having a refugee status. So we stopped in Italy, and my first memories are of Italy, basically. But I was born in central Russia, and these days I always add my father's from Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. I've met a lot of Russian Ukrainian people in LA.
Yeah.
Even in the comedy industry, there's a few comics I know. It's very common. That's what's so, I don't know, just tragic and difficult about this current situation. It seems like a lot of families are split between
tragedy
Russian side
breeds
and
comedy,
Ukrainian.
I feel like.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
But yeah, absolutely. I think, I grew up in Brooklyn and the ex-Soviet Jewish community there. And everybody was a mix of these places.
Yeah.
How did you get out? Did your family have... My cousin is from Russia, and when they left Russia, they had to bribe their way out. Did your family have to pull some strings to leave?
No. Well, no. There was a moment in the late 70s, early 80s where Jews were allowed to leave because of religious persecution. I always say Gerald Ford is my favorite president because I only got to be an American because he did this one thing where he pressured the Soviet Union to let the Jews out. And so when you meet people from Russia or Ukraine or Moldova or, you know, any ex-Soviet republic, and if they came here in the late 70s or 80s, even into the 90s maybe, chances are they're going to be Jewish. So it does sort of skew the opinion of that people have of Russians or Ukrainians because they're actually just meeting Jews. When I was a kid, I thought most Russians were Jews because that's what I knew.
Now, do you think Gerald Ford, did he watch 21 Jump Street first and that's what made him like the Jews? Because that's how Kanye said. Kanye said now that he watched Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street, he likes Jews again. So
yeah,
seems to be
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that?
That was his.
We got Kanye back.
That was his official statement on his Instagram page this week. Yeah,
I cannot believe I didn't get that from my husband who voted for Kanye.
Oh man,
that's usually my Kanye pipeline.
Well, you got to check it out. He's back on Team Jewish People after seeing 21 Jump Street.
Thank God. Thank God. It was either that or Blintz. So I'm glad it worked out. Blintzes are not really that.
Hey, I love Blintzes.
Now, we talked a little bit about your book. So it's called Stolen Youth. What exactly is being stolen?
It's the innocence of children. They don't get to have the childhood where they're not having political ideology pushed to them. When we lived in Brooklyn, it was standard for schools to organize protests involving the children. They protested climate change. They protested guns. There was one protest that was just like a vague, we protest against hate. Obviously, that was right after Donald Trump's election. Everybody knew what they were trying to say. And kids are forced into this activism, and they're young and they don't know what they're saying, and they go along with it. But in other ways too, I think that the early sexualization of children, so much that is going on right now is really robbing kids of their innocence and of their youth. And that was important for us to document.
And do you see do you see the solution to this being more, you should homeschool your kids? Is there policies that we can push to change what's going on in public schools? What's the sort of solution to this issue?
Funny you should mention that. Go ahead, Bethany.
Yeah, so we take very different sort of perspectives on this. And in our conclusion chapter, which our editor made us put in at the last minute, they're like, tell people what to do. And we're like, we don't have to tell people what to do. That's their lives. But they made us. And so then we did it. So in the last chapter, in the sort of prescriptive chapter, we made different arguments. I have 6 kids and I homeschool. They're currently getting their screen time in my basement, along with another homeschool girl in the neighborhood. And that's what we do. My kids, I always joke that my kids' favorite actor is Robin Williams, and their favorite movie is either Jumanji or Mrs. Doubtfire. And we don't really participate in culture. And so it was actually really hard when I was writing the media chapter, because I was like, I've heard of this show, Paw Patrol. I don't really know anything about it. So I'm really sort of tapped out of this cultural moment as far as kids go, very intentionally. And that's what I argue parents should be as well, very sort of detached. But Karol takes a different perspective.
Wait, so you kept your kids out of drag queen story hours so that they could watch Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah. No, it's really funny. I always joke that Mrs. Doubtfire would never be made now.
Because it's a comedy about that, about cross-dressing.
Yes, no,
exactly.
This is the problem with how all of this ideology infects literature and media. Nothing is entertaining anymore. If you look at old episodes of Seinfeld, Friends, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Birdcage also, speaking of great cinema from the Robin Williams era, none of that would be made the way that it was then. Because I'm sort of arguing with my husband about if I can show my children a Birdcage. I think it's totally fine and totally appropriate, but it would be so obnoxiously preachy now, in a way that it wasn't then. It was just like wholesome about, this gay bar in Miami.
Yeah. Well, and to your point, what you just said, what I love about that is this is how it should be. You said you and your husband are deciding what's appropriate for your kids. Even if you disagree, It's between the parents, and you decide what your kids see, and that's what's one of the biggest problems.
And then obviously I will win.
The schools, yes. But the schools are trying to push kids should be exposed to this, kids should learn this, kids should have access to this, regardless of what their parents and legal guardians believe.
It's a school trip that they don't even tell parents about to go see a drag show. I mean, why would that even happen? If you want to mess up your kids and take them to a drag show, I mean, I don't think you should have the parental right to do that, and Tennessee would say otherwise. But, okay, that's a weird decision that you made. But when schools do it, and they don't even tell you about it. I was reading through your book, and there are situations that I haven't even heard about, like the trans chaperones for the camps.
I knew where you were going with that.
I was that's so scary.
I haven't read the book yet. Yeah, I don't know about this.
Well, I'll let you tell it. Do you want to tell Adam and our listeners about a situation they should know about?
Yeah, so this is part of the reason we wrote the book, because a lot of people are not aware of this. And when our editor kept on saying, like, we need prescriptions, we need answers, we're like, okay, but knowing is really a lot of it, and people are not aware of a lot of this. And so I spoke to a mother based out of California, and she sent her daughter to a summer camp setting. It was via the school over a weekend, but it was in a summer camp. And the girl came home and said, I was scared to fall asleep because there was a counselor in my bunk who slept in my bunk, who had facial hair and went by the name Nick. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, and I felt scared to even say anything. And when the mother, there's like a lot of other backstory as to why this girl was made to be afraid. And it's, because we've decided to prioritize the feelings of adults over the safety of children.
Absolutely.
But the mother confronted the school because she had previously asked exactly this. What is the sort of gender policy for sleeping arrangements? And the school kind of gave her this legal gobbledygook that she didn't understand, but they said it in a very reassuring way. And the reality was she was gaslit. Mm-hmm. They said, don't worry, we only group people by their gender identity. And she was like, I don't know what gender identity is. Whatever, fine. Just like, okay, great, done. And she looked it up. She's like, oh, someone can just say they feel like a girl and then they get to sleep in a bunk with my preteen daughter. Yes. In California, that is the law of the land. And a lot of other states too. Before people send their children to summer camp, they should probably look at it. It's infuriating,
and I had not heard that story. It is crazy how far this stuff is going.
This summer is going to be a Rubicon Cross moment. I've been saying it all year. Mm-hmm. I am familiar with a lot of camps who are allowing counselors and campers to be in a bunk according to gender identity. And there's no way that goes wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't want to we shouldn't wait for something horrible to happen before we ban that or change that policy. Just offend the person.
It's common sense that this should not be allowed.
Who cares? Who cares about your feelings when it comes to safety of children? It's like if your kids are in public school, they can't play sports, they can't go to camp, they can't go to any field trip. There's just...
I saw there was testimony this week. Of course, the mainstream outlets didn't cover it, but of one of Leah Thomas's... what would you call it, teammates from UPenn, just talking about the trauma of having to compete against this biological male and then having to be in the locker rooms with a naked male without being warned, without agreeing to that. It's insane that this stuff has gone as far as it has.
Yep.
We used to think that women's spaces were necessary and important, specifically for these reasons, and yet the safety of women no longer matters because
hashtag believe all women.
Yeah, there's a new hot topic. There's a new hot, identity group, and women are out, and that's just the case.
And right. To Bethany's point, it's insane to me also that they are, like you said, prioritizing the emotional level and the discomfort of adult men over women and children. They're saying, oh, well, this guy who thinks he's a girl, that's what we have to pander to in our society now.
It's we were talking about Drag Queen Story Hour. When's the last time you saw the drag queen read a book to anybody, right? That's completely no longer the case. It's now like Drag Queen Stripper Hour, and we just moved on to that without anybody even talking about it. It's okay, I thought Drag Queen Story Hour made no sense to begin with, but that is gone. That's like they completely moved past that and moved into drag shows for kids. And they keep pushing this envelope, and this is where we end up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and then they do it with drag queens because no one would ever bring their child to stripper story hour. And so if you dare object to any sexualized content, they make it so that they've framed it in a way that you're a bigot if you oppose it. But I'm not okay with stripper story hour either. But they're trying to push a lot of sexualized content on kids. I sort of did a little bit of a dive into the minor attracted persons phenomenon in our book. In my opinion, I probably didn't dive deeply enough. That's going to be a situation moving forward. But there's also,
and for people who don't know, that's where they're trying to portray pedophilia as a sexual orientation, basically.
Yes. And that's going to be more normalized. We'll see that sort of phenomenon happen over the next couple of years. But there's also children's books about sex workers. In 1 week, I don't know like what sort of flare went out among librarians, but in 1 week last spring when I was writing this chapter, so thank you, it was very convenient whoever sent that flare, 3 friends across the country, one in Denver, one in Baltimore, and I don't remember where the third one was, sent me a picture of a book called How Mamas Love Their Babies. And it's a book by a sex worker about a sex worker parent who they're just trying to normalize, different mamas do different things to work and to provide for their children. And some of them are strippers.
What's the age target for this book?
Toddler.
Yeah.
It was displayed in the children's section in a Baltimore library and a Denver library.
Is this just like libraries trying not to go under, so they're going crazy?
I mean, one of the things that I've been trying to do with the release of our book is encourage everyone to request it at their local libraries. And there's like 6 copies in Michigan, in like a really blue enclave in Michigan, and 3 copies in Portland, Oregon. But I mean, this ideology has completely taken over libraries and library profession in every way, shape, and form. And you're seeing that with Drag Queen Story Hour.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you say, is this a way for libraries to stop from failing? During the pandemic, Bethany trended on Twitter as grandma killer because she mentioned that if we don't get people back in places like libraries, they're going to fail. And apparently, you're not allowed to say that. And so a major part of our book is the forced conformity of wokeism and the way that you're not allowed to say certain things. She was right. She was 100% right. But Twitter, had a field day going after her for daring to say that things like libraries will be in a state of collapse if we don't get out of our houses and get back to living.
Now, you brought up wokeism. We do have to ask about this. Bethany, you had a moment that went viral for a bad reason recently.
Very chair.
Yes.
And I was having like flashbacks just now when you said that.
So was it CNN or MSNBC?
No, it was nothing.
Oh,
it was.
Well, they aired it. I think
The Hill Rising.
Okay, so they aired it though on all these other media outlets where they picked it up.
It was a
they
good
didn't have
moment.
us on to talk about the book or anything.
So you struggled to.
It's fine. Our sales went up anyway.
So I've heard this criticism from the left before that the right uses this term woke but can't define what it is. And in this moment, you kind of struggled to define the word woke. But do you have a definition of it? How do you define woke when we're criticizing that ideology?
So, I mean, it's a good question, and one that I've spent a lot of time thinking about since I went viral for that, which obviously I did on purpose in order to bolster our book sales. Which was
no publicity is bad publicity.
You're welcome, Karol. I took that bullet for the team, obviously. I mean, it's sort of, Ed Meese became famous with his sort of definition of pornography. You know it when you see it. But it's this forced conformity and this idea. And by the way, if you rewatch that video, I do eventually spurt out a
100%. I agree with you. I watched it, and you stumbled a little bit at the beginning as you're thinking about it. But I watched
she has a newborn,
and I thought she does define it in the clip. Yes,
I can find that
anybody
clip.
who's ever had a newborn knows your brain is mush. Like the fact that she's doing any of this is, and it's not her first newborn; it's her 6th. So All right, go ahead.
And a sleepwalking 3-year-old who really was to blame for that. But anyway. Forced conformity and this idea that our entire society, our country, all of Western civilization is built on racism.
Yes.
And we have to break down every building block of our society and rebuild it in a way that is more equal and more equitable. And we're all inherently racist, and we're all inherently sexist and transphobic, and every building block, family, basic biology, what is a man, what is a woman? I mean, not what is a man, I'm sorry. There's no confusion about that definition. It's really just what is a woman. We're the only ones that we're really unsure. All of that is up for grabs. And that is the basic definition of wokeism. And what's been really frustrating about this, outside of like, you know, going viral for having a brain fart, is that the sort of left has decided that I made up the word wokeness and like reappropriated it all by myself. Like I'm that powerful. Like I have totally taken that word and started using it for the first time. This is a word that everyone uses. This is a word. This is a phenomenon.
I looked up the definition of woke, and it's actually to cause to emerge from the state of sleep or to stop sleeping. It's past tense.
What I've actually thought about this a lot, even before that moment with you that went viral, because I have heard this criticism that the right can't define woke. And so the origins of woke in the modern sense are that in the Black community, they used to say stay woke as a way to stay aware of perceived injustices that were being performed by the police and the government. Yeah. But then,
which I wrote a whole chapter on it.
Exactly.
I wrote the whole chapter.
But then I think before the right started criticizing it, I think what the left did, and I haven't read your book, so I don't know how much of this you get into. But the way I would define woke almost is that it's this ideology that seeks to find victim power dynamics in all aspects of society, and then designate one group perpetual victims and another group perpetual oppressors.
I think that you are plagiarizing.
Really?
Words, actually.
Really?
We cover all of this. We talk about how
verbatim.
They have to find new victims all the time.
Yeah.
They constantly need to be moving and finding new targets to cancel, to berate for not being woke enough. And a lot of that is language based. It's funny that like, oh, we don't know what woke is, whatever could it mean? And part of that is really language orientated, where words that you used 5 minutes ago are no longer allowed. You know, we talk about this in the book, but colored persons obviously not allowed. So you move to person of color. What's the difference there, really? You know, it's literally, and again, we trace this in the book, but it's about making sure that we know who's in the in group and who's not. And the funny thing is now a person of color is on its way out. I watch, Instagram videos, and I see the young people are saying, I don't like this anymore. And I bet you we're really close to no longer being allowed to use person of color. And if you use it, you're a bigot, even though it's completely okay today.
Yeah.
So what's the new?
We're gonna have to wait and see. They're gonna tell us.
Yeah, we can focus group it.
Yeah,
right here.
They can go to a person experiencing color.
And what's really funny about
they put in new
is the anger and the frustration on the part of the Black community. Y'all should really talk to white rich progressives, because they're the ones who appropriated this whole thing. The worst people on the planet are rich white women.
There you have it.
Well,
that's a great place to end.
Click that.
That'll be our soundbite.
So is that what you want people to get after reading your book? Is that they should hate rich white women? And what if you become a rich white woman after buying your book? Will you become the thing
I'm sorry,
that you hate?
Rich white progressive women.
Okay.
Also conservatives. I mean, we're all just terrible. We're all just looking for problems that don't exist.
That's
true. A lot of this too.
Yeah.
We're looking for problems that don't exist. We're looking for places to be offended where it doesn't exist. And it was funny, like going viral for that stupid brain fart moment, because people were so angry. And I'm like, what did I actually do? Did I harm you in any way? Like, can we storyboard this a little bit? Why are you so angry?
I think it's important what you said when I watched that clip. You did define woke. You did not fail to define woke there. Yeah.
I know I eventually got there. I was very tired that day.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. Everyone be sure to check out the book. And like they said, make sure you ask your libraries to to stock and carry this book so that
Request
everyone can have access to it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
And speaking of being an obnoxious white woman with problems that don't exist, also complain about the books that you don't like in the library. Be a Karen. Take that from Bethany Mandel. Be a Karen.
Be a Karen. Thank you. And besides checking out the book, is there any other place that people can follow you? Do you have a website or social media or anything like that?
Twitter, I'm just at my first name, Karol.
Cool.
Bethany Shondark on all of the platforms. Sorry, my 1-year-old is BBC dadding me right now.
Well, we'll let you get back to your kids. Thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. We hope everybody checks out the book.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam and Emma.
Be sure to check out their book. Yep.
And thank you, Carol and Bethany. Now it's time for hate mail.
You used to be good.
Adam Ford.
Adam Ford.
Adam Ford. Adam Ford.
I really miss Adam Ford.
All right, so we wrote this article, Fox News defamation trial over, as jury votes in favor of Dominion 138,000 to 1.
That's funny.
I like that one.
I do
And then
like that.
we have a reply from Magnificent Jack who says, why the
Flower bed
is this unfunny boomer
sideburns
on my timeline? Get off the phone, Grandpa.
In response to Transition Me Elmo article on Twitter, someone called Death Rabbit says, The Onion is better.
flower bed.
You. Smiley face.
Peter also responded to that one. You guys are so bad at this. That's the only funny thing about your site.
that we're bad at it.
That we're bad? Cool. At least we got something.
All right, so we had the Chicago mayor warns that if local Walmart locations close, people won't have anywhere to loot. And this person whose name is the F word says, shut up, suburbs.
I like that they just made their name the
Yeah.
F word. Here's an article. Fetterman filibusters Senate for 7 hours while attempting to say hello.
Oh, that's mean.
Yes. And Cozy Nomi said, wow, what a big person you are because you're making fun of somebody who had a stroke and also the disabled community. How about
flower bed?
You piece of
snot.
All of you
fake news
are the same elementary school bullies who never
flower bed
grew up. I don't love making fun of Fetterman's stroke.
I know. I feel really. I just when I see him and Joe Biden,
I feel bad for him. It's like
I feel that when you see like a really old guy struggling to walk across the street and they like gets a pit in your stomach. That's how I feel looking at Joe Biden and this guy. I'm just like, dude, why is this person in this position? And there's an answer to that. Apparently, his wife is like putting him up to it, right?
She thinks she's controlling it.
So weird.
Well, I was an elementary school bully who never grew up, so I think this is hilarious. No, I did like making fun of the stroke thing. Not a huge fan of, but it is bizarre that they put him up to it. And,
yeah,
this one makes me
weird
feel,
that
same
they
thing
keep
with Biden.
putting
I'm
him
like,
out, that they keep putting him out there. Like this,
Why do they keep?
We did an article, Disney World forced to close after DeSantis built elementary school within 1,000 feet.
Uh-huh.
And Chad Rapinski says, everything I don't like is pedophile. Boomers. So, all right. Well, thanks for the hate mail, everybody. Please send us more hate mail.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned if you're a subscriber, and subscribe if you're not. BabylonB.com/plans. Use code podcast, and you can join us for the rest of the subscription podcast. We're going to talk about C.S. Lewis. We have subscriber headlines and all kinds
that
of fun
guy
stuff.
none of us recognized in the AI prompt?
We're going to talk about
all about him.
Thanks for joining us this week, everybody.
Bye.
Coming up next for Babylon Bee subscribers, Kyle's C.S. Lewis Corner.
He really does write with this sort of the passion and love and reality of God as a person who cares about us.
She gets to stand before God and read her complaints to God. And as she looks at her paper, the complaint just wipes away into nonsense. He had a camera set up in New York City where people were supposed to come up and go, "He will not divide us."
This has been another edition of the Babylon Bee podcast from the dedicated team of certified fake news journalists you can trust here at the Babylon Bee, reminding you that the Calvinist or Arminian question is on the entrance exam to get into heaven.